Hello, my name is Ronan Chris Murphy, and I'm coming to you from Peru, Lima, Peru, a beautiful studio called Meno, where I've been working off and on for the last few weeks. And today I'm mixing an old school country bluegrass record, as one does in Peru. Welcome to my weird world. But there's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it's based on a great Italian artist named Niccolò Fabi, who's one of my favorite artists in the world. But I was over at my place in Italy for a month or two just recently, and he's got a new album out, Meno. And I was listening to it a bunch, and every day I'd listen to it. While I was making lunch, I'd listen to it. While I was eating lunch, I would listen to it. So I'd listen to it a couple times a day for 3 days. And it's a really interesting album, and there's some really kind of unorthodox things. He recreated some of his older songs that I love in very new forms, and there's strange mixes of sounds that I wouldn't expect to go together. And I was trying to decide, do I like this? Do I dig this? Do I think this is a good production? So again, listening to it constantly for 3 or 4 days, multiple times a day. And at the end, yeah, it's really good. It's a great production. And I love it, but something dawned on me. For 3 or 4 days, I'd been listening to it every day, a couple times a day, but on my cell phone, listening to the speaker on my cell phone. So 4th or 5th day, I finally put it up on the big speakers and listened to it, and I was able to enjoy extended low end, a little more detail in the strings. But I'd already come to my conclusion. I could tell this was a production that I loved just listening on my cell phone on the built-in speaker. I could tell that the songs were great listening on my cell phone, the built-in speaker. I could tell the performances were great and beautiful, but just listening to my cell phone. When I did move to my great Neumann speakers, which I love, I could hear more detail, more character, but that didn't change the fundamental thing about whether or not this is a great production, whether or not this is great music, whether or not these are great performances. All that was evident on the cell phone. And it really got me thinking about something I've kind of always known, but this really hammered it in, is that the delivery medium, blaming it as a cop-out. There's a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't matter. People are going to listen on little earbuds or their cell phone, or it's going to get crushed down to MP3. If you're thinking that way, you are just copping out. You are really dropping the ball as a producer and engineer, because the reality is great productions sound great on MP3s. Great productions sound great on a cell phone. Great productions sound good the speaker at the shopping mall. Of course, our hi-fi systems and our studio monitor, all of that allow us to appreciate a different level of that. But at the end of it, your great work will sound great almost anywhere you play it. So that's the thing I really wanted to hammer home. If you are talking about like, hey, this doesn't matter, or I don't care, I'm going to put less effort into this because it's going to be released this way, you're just copping out. So don't cop out if the music's important and the music matters. And if it doesn't, you shouldn't be recording it anyway. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to reiterate how important it is to care about the music and never let how it might get heard in the end be a cop out for you doing your absolute best work. Because if you're working on the music deserves it. All right, thanks so much. And yeah, have fun and stay focused on the music.